What's up, people? I came on here today because I was just kind of like replaying a conversations that I've been having with people, different people of all different specs of the world. Because I just kind of like to get people's understanding and what they're of their culture for one, and everything that's going on in the world. Uh, I want to make sure that my heart space is right to be able to invite, the good people in and be able to go ahead and be able to close the door instantly on the bad people. Um, I was going over a conversation in my head today that just kind of like it was bothering me, and it was just like, one day I told a woman that I was an Israelite, a Hebrew Israelite, and she kind of like looked at me with such disbelief. And she was like, "I'm so glad you guys are waking up." She was actually excited and happy. And she was like, "But when you guys find out the secret, you guys are gonna be upset." So that always played in my mind. Like this was about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. So that conversation always played in my mind. What is the truth about this situation? What is she talking about? Because I thought the truth was already out. I thought the truth was we were slaves. I thought the truth was he brought us from one place to another. But as time progressed and as things started to come out, I learned that America actually has pyramids. I actually learned that certain cities in America are named after these countries over here in in the in Africa. Let's just say Africa. On in the East, I guess you would call it the East. But I was gonna say, oh, Middle East. There you go. I can't say Midwest because that's us. But yeah, the Middle East. Um, so I just started thinking about some things, and also, I was scrolling on TikTok and I was seeing that the Mexicans are having a problem down there in Mexico. They're saying that the Europeans, the Americans, I say Americans, the Americans are coming now and they are taking over, and I kind of like, I understood where they were coming from, but at the same time, I kind of like cracked a smile because you guys hatred for black people was so strong. You guys made a deal. Your forefathers, this is just my belief because it's how everything is adding up, how America plays roles, and how America do things. um, your forefathers had to make an agreement with the the conquerors of this land. What are you calling the communists or whatever? Hold on one second. So I was thinking about their hatred for black people and how they wanted to basically defeat us and take over the land, which is America. This land, I believe that black people had. I believe it was so hard to get to us, but we could get anywhere. We could get anywhere in the country because of how close the continents was. And my belief we were in just like history fashion, everything that the Europeans are doing, I believe they learned that junk from us. And, uh, before God came and wiped everything out. He still left a few remaining on there, and there were some bad seeds left. You know what I mean? All the good people were taken out. Um, but my belief is the forefathers made a deal with the Mexican forefathers, and this is how you guys took over, assumed the identity of the Indians here, because you guys wanted to be able to keep our inheritance away from us. You had to hide it, but then you had to also make an agreement that you would not say anything to us. But some of you guys did, and that's why, like, I feel like the the East Coast and from the Midwest on over to the West Coast is different, because I feel like those people, those the Mexicans that branched out into that area over there, they got screwed over as well, and so they started becoming friends and being real close with the blacks out there on the East Coast, because that's what I'm used to. Midwest to the West Coast is something completely different. I think they still carry on that hatred, because I feel like their end of the deal was still held up. Their end of the deal was still held up and kept. And I was actually talking to one of my Asian friends, and I kicked this theory out to him, because I was like, "Oh, every ain't nobody innocent in this thing, especially your superpowers and the people who are connected to us but aren't doing too good." I feel like, and to be honest with you, the Mexicans got the worst of the deal, and they were the biggest key, the major key into getting us, and they got the worst end of the deal. The Chinese, the Asian community, they created gunpowder, and they sold the recipe to the well, they made a deal with the colonizers. There you go, colonizers. They made a deal with the colonizers, um, in an agreement. Why you think everybody's flooding this land? Now that the contract is up, some people are going to be evicted from this land, but they knew that already, so they brought in all these different races so that we would have a hard time maintaining this land and getting back our resources and everything. It's just a fact. Just to look at how many people are coming in this border and how many different ethnicities it is. All these ethnicities made deals. They made deals. And they're not letting in no black people. They just letting in everybody else. Everybody else, forefathers. When the time came, they're gonna open up the borders, because the people who created the pain were had to leave. But what they didn't tell them was this land was gonna be, you know. I do believe Jacob was black and Esau was white, and I believe Esau convinced all the tribes to turn against each other. Esau's tribe is the 13th tribe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just my opinion. You know, it's just deals that people made. I'm still doing research on other communities. I really haven't really had any interest. The only reason why I even found out about the Asian community was because I wanted to know who created guns and where did they come from. And so the colonizers created the gun. They created the cannon first. Then it was like the little thing where you load the gun up, and then you load the gunpowder up. You take the gunpowder from the, what you call it, shoot it up. Do do do. Yeah, the gunpowder came from from the Asian community, and that's how I learned where that deal. Like, I was like, hold up. So the gunpowder, because the Asian community was actually trying to find a reverse aging um, potion. They were trying to create a potion to reverse aging, and they wind up coming up with a kaboom. And I was just like, oh man, but I am still doing research on different countries, and um, I think I want to do. I'm here in Dubai next. I want to see the connection between Dubai and and a lot of these different other countries. But I just feel like this could have been our land. This most definitely could have been our land. And and the more and more like things are coming out, especially the artifacts in Kentucky that was discovered. Um, there's pyramids all over the United States. You know, artifacts they took from here and brought to Egypt. I mean, brought to Africa over there. It's wild. It's wild what they have been doing, and like that would be a major cover up. Like, come on, man, that'd be the biggest deception of the world. And some people, I told my guy, I told him, I say, listen, black people are not racist. They may be prejudiced, but they gotta have a nation to be racist upon. You know, y'all have not allowed us to have that because when it comes to us, everybody is in agreement that we should have nothing. Why is that? Why is that? Why do every nation feel like we don't even deserve a nation? Huh? Mm. So I just claimed the holy nation, holiest of the holiest, and I really took my time and I really studied a lot because a lot of the different religions and like is between this Israelites and or the being a Buddhist. Yeah, I was gonna be a Buddhist. But ultimately you gotta go back to that Bible. And I remember one time I was just praying and I had a Bible in the back seat and some pages just flew out at me. You know, and I was telling this person earlier, like, it don't matter. There's messages in that Bible that are still stamped to this day. They weren't able to remove. And there's certain things in not only in the Bible but certain rules we should be following. So yeah, like they may have changed some things, but the meat and gravy, God gonna point it out to you, especially if you ask him. He gonna point it out to you, gonna show you what it is, what it ain't. And I don't know, man. My bond with him over this past tenured has been very, 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 very challenging. But it's been a joyous occasion. I can say every day I smile because I know I changed just a little bit for the better every day. I smile because I know that regardless of where I came from, I know that I am the difference. I am the change. One thing about me, people always, and my godmom was telling me this too. She was telling me that one thing you will do is work your ass off. Yeah. One thing I've always had is two, three, four, five jobs. I've always had a job. You know, I've never wanted to rip off people. There's been times where, I've been put in situations where I've seen some people get ripped off and I ain't say nothing. I looked the other way. And sometimes you gotta reap what you sow, you know? So it's just I'm just happy I made it this far, and I'm happy that I'm getting all these downloads, and even I'm doing as much research as I'm doing, because it's very interesting when you sit back and think about it. How many cities in America are named after places in Africa? It's crazy how Kentucky sounds like King Tut is the key. Woo! Man, Babylon. That's what it was called. I was trying to think, what was that place called? Up in New York. That city up in New York. It's called Babylon. Yeah, man. There's too many coinkydinks linking from the Bible to this land. Even the geographics put you here in America. Right up and down that East Coast border. You hear me, dogs? Right up and down there. So I was talking to one of my friends. I was telling them, like, what if they took them from the north and they brought them down to the south? They brought them down to the south. Huh? Then scattered them again. Sheesh. They can say ocean, and they ain't as prideful as they are. I haven't seen no slave ship boat. They'll throw that in our face every chance they got. They put in the air movie, be in some museum, something. You know, be in something. Be in something. You know what I mean? Wait, I'm gonna get up off of here. I got some things to do. But just keep that in mind. Think about it. Think about it. The biggest secret they could ever hide from us is this is our land. We stole it from you. We put everybody against you. We made deals with pretty much every country. And if they didn't get down with the deal of hiding this, going along with this secret, we made them a third world country. Third world country. And we let just anything happen to them because we had the power and the money to do so, and we became bigger and bigger and bigger. No, I don't believe everybody is a racist in their own culture, but I believe you guys have a lot of majority people in your culture that are very racist, very prejudiced. And I'm gonna say this to the black people too: stop being prejudiced, because there was more than just blacks in heaven. There's way more than blacks in heaven. You know what I'm saying? And for the other races and the other cultures out here, you need to show and be upfront, very vocal on what you stand for and who you stand for. But I'm going to say this for all that proclaims: get your heart right. Purify your heart. Make sure that you ain't got make sure you ain't got no seeds. When I mean seeds, make sure you're forgiving everybody you need to forgive. You know, make sure when you do things, you do it with integrity. Hold your head up high. And even if you're going through the storm, even if the rocks are hitting your face and cutting you up, hold your head up and just keep going. You know, it's going to work out. I'm still holding my head up. And I'm still going. And I've been having rocks been thrown at me and everything. But you know what? God has really made sure that I'm good. I fear no evil because I have him in my corner. It's so beautiful. And like I'm smiling when I say that because it's relief. So before you make claims, because like if you want to make sure that those soldiers are there for you when you need it. All that gotta be good. Your heart gotta be as pure, and you gotta pay your karmic debts back. You know what I mean? Everything, you gotta pay some things back to the universe. And that might be time, that might be money, that might be emotions, that might be anything. Gotta give back. Show them that you're serious. Dedication is everything. If I'm gonna be loyal to anything or anyone, it's gonna be myself first, or God first, and then myself. Dedication.